that is true, but the only caveat is you must have your ship in the water. And I didn't really have my ship in the water. I'd have a burst of energy in 30, 60 days, kind of go crazy and focus, and then I would let things get in the way. Whether it was summer, whether it was vacation, whether it was my business, it just seemed like as I started and my group started to move, I wasn't consistent enough to keep it growing and keep it advancing through the momentum, and kind of watched it go by. And that's, not really a good feeling, and kind of how you know that is you start talking to individuals, prospecting, and they've already heard about the company, perhaps they're already in the company. It's a good thing, but at the same time, it wasn't too good for me. There was, many situations where, examples would be going into a meeting and I had in particular one person in my organization, we go into one of our weekly operating meetings, and he said, I can't believe, this person is there, and it was his cousin. He goes, oh no, I know he's got experience, and I was doing really well. I go, how come you didn't talk to him? Well, and just all kinds of excuses will come out. So I think that's just a sign, a sign that I was able to experience, witness, a sign for everyone that this is that time that we must focus and we must be consistent. If we really want to capture within our organizations, within your organization, for the checks in your team, the checks for you, we have to focus. This is a 18-month window, perhaps, that we need to put 100% focus and energy into, so that we don't miss that opportunity for momentum, and we don't then start running into all kinds of people that we know that are already in the company, and that is beginning to happen. I know I've gotten many calls with people kind of discouraged in a way that they know, they've called people, now they found out they're already in the company. So that's what momentum is. It's when something becomes popularized and all of a sudden everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon. It's proven, it's safe. There's all that proven evidence, whether it be testimonials about the product, whether it be testimonials about the business and how individuals' businesses are growing and their checks are increasing. Once that happens, then it becomes much, I guess you could say, easier or simpler, because the facts are there. There's no debate, there's no doubt, there's no question. And I know in all of our leadership's mind, and probably everybody on this line, there's no doubt in our mind that Zija is the next billion-dollar brand. But now we have to do something about it. And Freedom Friday is a day that we can do something about it. If we've created a culture in our organization where everybody's focused on Fridays to help people, help their organization, help themselves personally, as they're recruiting, as they're introducing and trying to get positive decisions for individuals to join the team, so that they can move to a higher PIN level, which means an increased check. So people in their organizations can reach a new PIN level, which means obviously increased checks. But just as important to requalify for the PINs that we're already at. It's hard to get to the next PIN if we can't requalify for the PINs that we're already at. So number one, it takes all of us, every individual must have a goal, must have something very clear in their mind, what they want to accomplish each week. And I love that about our compensation plan. Most compensation plans in our industry are monthly based, PIN qualifications, some are even monthly based in pay. Well, we do everything weekly, and that gives us a reason every single week to set a goal, and to achieve that goal. Again, what's that next PIN level for everybody on the line? Do you have in your mind, clearly in your mind, when you want to reach that next PIN level? And are you willing to do whatever it takes to reach that PIN level? Are you working with people, the leaders in your organization or the rising stars in your organization that are just coming on board with us? Have you helped them set goals for themselves to see if they're willing to do exactly what it takes to reach those goals? I kind of call it a filtering process. When I personally enroll someone or I'm working with someone, I always want to find out what their goals are, why they're the business if they're brand new, and goal. And if they do, then we know there's someone worth investing time in. Not that we wouldn't invest time in anyone that asks us for our help, but certainly those people that have goals and are their outward activity is congruent with their inner thoughts, right? Whatever their goal is, they're willing to do the activities necessary to reach those goals. And if they're not, then of course I'm always looking, as we should always look, not only for more people that we personally can enroll, but other people within our organization, strategic parts of our organization, where people are already doing those things that are going to help them to reach their goals. So number one, we must, have goals for ourselves, and number two, we must know our organization, know who those rising stars are, and know who those current leaders are. So we can focus that time building down and deep into our organizations. So Freedom Friday is that day. I know, personally, it's something that I devote every week, Friday. I avoid any kind of plans during the day and the evening, whether that be productive activities. My wife and I have kind of changed our date night from Friday night to Saturday night, so I will be available for those people that need three-way calls. I can, number one, follow up myself with the people that I'm prospecting, but I'm also available for three-way calls for our team and our organization, and it should be the busiest day for all of us of the week, as people in our organization trying to reach those goals are reaching out to us, working together as a team, so that we can help people reach those positive decisions, whether to be a preferred customer or a distributor, so that we can drive volume up through our organization and help people reach those new pins. We do that with enough people, of course, we'll have everything that we could ever want as far as our advancements personally. So Freedom Friday is important. And one thing, too, that I think is real important, when we talk about people needing goals, people need clarity with those goals, but we also have to help people be completely 100% clear on exactly what we do, how we do it, and how we would reach those goals. We're paid to build a database of people. I mean, that's it. Simply put, when people ask what we do, and how we make money, we are paid to build a database of people for ZG International, and they can purchase product from our company, they can build their organizations, right? And we get paid over and over and over on all of those repeat purchases. Now, one thing that I guess is a word that can be misconstrued or confused sometimes, and that's the word sell. I personally, it's very, very rare that I ever sell a product. Periodically I'll have somebody in my local market that wants to buy a product, or just says I want to buy some product to experience the product itself. And if I do sell them something, I make it very, very clear to them, because I don't want them to have the wrong idea. I'm not in sales. I'm not here to sell product, to buy an inventory and sell product to individuals. Now, I may have product as a sample or a small order that I could fill if somebody wanted to pay for it. But my goal is to direct everyone to International, the website, whether it's a preferred customer site, a distributor site, or call customer service, so they purchase that product directly from ZG International. And of course, we get a small commission every time that happens. So I want to, again, make it clear to everyone that I'm talking to in prospecting that, we're not in the sales business, right? People, don't picture themselves as salespeople. I don't think many people in this world even would want to be in sales. I mean, if they wanted to be in sales, they could sell anything from office supplies to cars to, anything. But why aren't there many people doing that? Most people, again, don't think of themselves as salespeople. People, they really, and I know this for a fact, especially when we're talking about our industry, people hate to be sold. They love to buy, but they hate to be sold. An example would be when you would say that you had an event tonight and you needed a new tie, a dress. So you go to the store, to the mall, to the store to purchase that. You know you have to purchase something for this evening. And when you walk into that store, what's the first thing that happens? The salesperson will come over and typically say, how can I help you? Oh, what's our response? No, just looking. Well, we're not. We're here to buy, but we don't want to be sold anything. We want to look around. We want to purchase something that we want. I think the proper salespeople, the ones I appreciate most, say, hey, I'm here. If you need anything, I'll be right over there. If I can help you, direct you anywhere, please just, let me know. I appreciate that. I know they're not trying to sell me something. They're letting me buy what it is that I want to buy. And if I need help or if I have questions, then that's what their role is, to help me purchase what I want to purchase. So that's the number one thing we cannot do, and that's appear that we're trying to sell someone. When that happens, people will run like the wind. Now, the other thing that we want to help people understand along those lines is that our time is limited. I mean, we only have so much time, right? And like I started part-time in this industry, most people on the line are part-time in this industry, and there's just so many hours in the day between our work, between our family, our faith, our whatever, hobbies, whatever that might be. We only have a finite amount of time. Everybody has a finite amount of time. And since our time is limited, we can only do so much. If you think about it, we can only do so much. So what our job is to show people how to do something extremely simple. And the simpler we keep it, the less time it takes, the more productivity we will have, right? We want to show people how they can earn money and show others to do the very same thing. And it's that simple concept of two, get two, get two. What are we going to show them? Well, we know there's only two things that we do, right? We sponsor and we teach. We sponsor and we teach. Now, imagine that you have tens and hundreds of thousands of people, perhaps, in your organization. Just expand your mind. Tens of thousands of people in your organization. It is possible. It's happening every single day, and there's no reason everybody on the line cannot put together an organization of that size. We all have to start, right? I started like everyone else, one on the left and one on the right. All the leaders. David Moses, when he started the company, how many people did he start with on his team? 0. We put one on the left and we put one on the right and show them to do the same thing using a simple system. Now, imagine even 100 people. What if you had 100 people in your organization that were putting 10 hours a week into ZJ International? That's 1,000 hours of production. I don't know about you, but I don't have 1,000 hours a week to work. But that's the power of this industry. When people can grasp that, when they really figure it out, internalize it, understand it to the core of their being, it's amazing how different their activities are. They go from trying to sell somebody a product, they go from trying to sell somebody a package as a preferred customer, now to work and try to find people that want to build a business, that want to multiply and duplicate everybody's effort. So it is a business where we must understand it's about leveraging time from our upline as they help us put time into our business, our organizations as they put time into the business. And if we work together and everybody understands that within a system, that's when business can absolutely fly off the handle. Products will fly off the shelf, if you call it that, and that's the international's shelf. Now, one thing that I know that starts this whole duplication model in motion, how it demonstrates to an individual what leverage is all about, and that is when we first open our mouths. I mean, it really gets to the first thing that we say to somebody that can set up how the whole process will work as they go through the process of investigating, if they choose to do that, and decide to join our team. And if we're going to contact people by the telephone or we meet them, well, what happens when we energy, with enthusiasm, of course, passion, and we think that's going to impress them, right? And they may turn out to be a customer. They may be so impressed with the product that they want to purchase product, and here we go again. That's really not what our end goal is, right? Even if they do end up as a preferred customer, that's really not the end goal. We want to create leverage. So when we are explaining everything, taking all this time, people will form a couple of opinions. Number one, I'm not a salesperson. You know, Joe, you're a communicator. You're a great salesperson. I can't do that, nor really do I want to do that. I don't want to go to my family, my friends, and try to sell them something, product, business, whatever that might be. And then the second thing they're going to say is, or think to themselves, they may not express it, and maybe they do. I do hear it from many people. And that's, well, I don't have time. Well, that's true. I mean, if someone's going to go talk to 10, 15, 25 people, they've got to spend an hour. They first have to be educated because they can't make any kind of a presentation or explain anything if they don't have any training whatsoever, don't know what they're talking about. So they're going to stall out until they feel they know everybody, know everything. And, or they're going to say, you know, I don't have 25, 30 hours to do this. I don't want to, don't have the time to do it. Now, what are we going to say? Oh, well, you don't have to do that. We have a system. If that's true, then why didn't we demonstrate, why didn't we bring them through that system in those initial stages? And what is the system? Well, it's peak and pass, invitation, presentation, validation. I love talking to busy people because I can explain to them through a system that I've demonstrated to them the leverage. It's asking someone a simple question. You keep your options open. You keep your options open when it comes to making money. Asking a simple question takes, 15, 20 seconds. And when they say, yes, you know, my mind's open, or what are you talking about? Then we get them, that's the invitation, then we can get them to the presentation. We're not making the presentation. I don't care how good you are. Ron, people say, well, Ron, you're a triple diamond. You can do this and talk to people and go have lunch and do all these things. I go, absolutely, I can do that. But I don't. I don't want to. It gives them the wrong impression, right? They think that's what they have to do. They don't have time to learn it. They don't have time to do what I do. They're busy people. So I do exactly what I teach to do, and that is get them a third-party presentation, whether that's the DVD perhaps with the company PowerPoint presentation, our website that has the company PowerPoint presentation, an opportunity call presentation, a PBR, which is my favorite way to especially get somebody launched, a PBR, which is one of those presentations, an opportunity meeting, a Super Saturday, an event. That's what I do. So when somebody says, well, Ron, I don't have time, or I'm not a salesperson, I go, well, just think about it. What did I do? I just asked if you were open. If you ask somebody if they're open to making money, did you then direct them, send them a link to a website, invite them to a PBR, or whatever the event was that I had got them the presentation for? And it goes, oh, I see. So I love talking to busy people because I can show them how busy they are, how they can now get leverage so they can earn more money, generate a larger income, and spend less time doing it than what they're currently doing. I mean, it's simple. Then, after they see that presentation, well, what is the validation? Well, it's a three-way call. Somebody in the upline to then help them get to a positive decision, answer their questions by answering their questions. And again, I try to keep myself out of the loop. So I'm showing them, I'm demonstrating to them what leverage is all about, what team is all about, what our business is all about. The more money that we could help them make if they join us by doing these things and helping them, well then of course the more income we will earn, and that's what it's all about. So the question is, how many people do you want on your team that understand this process and are working together? So we bring somebody on and train them to do that. How do you sponsor someone? And then how do you teach them this very, very simple system? So, you know, it is simple. In fact, people ask, well, what's so hard? Well, the hard part is carving out any time at all in our busy lives. But really, the hard thing, why it's not easy, although it's simple, it's not easy. Keep it simple. The simpler we keep it, the less we are involved ourselves, the more productive we will be by demonstrating exactly what we're going to teach someone. So, if we don't start, there's an old saying, if you get them started right, they'll finish right. Well, we have to get them started right. That doesn't mean just getting to become a distributor. That means the minute we open our mouths to introduce them to Zija International. So, I guess in summary, these, we have a chance every single day to start anew. If we're not happy at the progress of our business, or if we're just getting started, we have the opportunity to begin anew. And that is, as we're prospecting, working, as I just explained, as our people are joining our team, and we're working with them, and we're training them, let's teach them to do the same thing. I know personally when I enroll someone, they, obviously one of the first steps is for them to fill out the fast track success form so I can understand why they're involved, their goals. They start developing their list of people as we instruct them to do. But I also warn them, and I tell them, advise them, I said, do not talk, bring out this list, but do not speak to a single person until we've had a chance to talk. Right? Once you fill that sheet out, then our next step is I'm going to teach you this peek and pass invitation, presentation, validation system. So you don't have to worry. You don't have to think that you need to carve out 2, 3, 4 hours of time to get started. I'm going to show you exactly what to say to these individuals and how you can do that in a matter of minutes, including using civil calls. And you won't have to spend much time. And you will be more successful. You'll have a greater ratio of people joining your team of those that you speak to if you will allow me to do that. Worst thing you can do is not knowing what you're doing. You go off and start talking to people because you'll give them the wrong impression. And once we give them the wrong impression, it's very, very difficult to bring them back around to see exactly what it is we do and how they can do that very same thing. Kind of people say monkey see, monkey do. People do what we do, not what we say. They will remember how they were brought through the process. They'll remember what we said and how that whole thing worked as they were introduced to the company and the products, and they will do the same thing no matter what we tell them after the fact. So let's get them started right. Let's finish right. Let's work with our team, training them to sponsor and teach other people to do the very same thing. And if we focus on that and explaining that when somebody asks about our system or they're not sure, when we're helping to get to a positive decision on Freedom Friday, maybe that's probably going to be the biggest question they have. They'll put us off. Well, let me look at the website again, or let me talk to my spouse, or I'm going on vacation, or what. All these different reasons or excuses are typically because they've not made up their mind yet, right? There isn't anything that really helps them over that hump to make a decision to get started. So we need to be clear, and we need to help them understand. And if we help them through the process in that way, it's much easier to explain that to them. So with that, got about a minute left. If anybody has on the speaker line, if you have a comment, an announcement that hasn't been made yet from the beginning of the call, we've got just a minute. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone's time, attention today. Remember, the other thing that we're talking about is we're helping people get to positive decisions, and we're helping our organization set their goals. Remember, a 30, 60, 90-day sprint, as we've been talking about, the largest promotion the company has ever introduced, will be announced for July. They'll be through August, September, leading to convention. Help everybody register for convention. Get that super early bird date. Never be less than through the end of this month. And we will have plenty of time to help them advance their businesses as we go through momentum right now with Zija International. So with that, if you're a freedom fighter, if you're going to focus today on helping your team advance their organizations, we know what that can mean for us if we do that. If you're going to devote this day to do everything you can to create larger checks, more pins in your the organization. Would love to hear who the freedom fighters are fighting for that financial freedom here this week, closing out cycle number 2. As we get off the lines are open.
Michael Stockman, Sacramento, California. You're dead on, Ron. Thanks.
Great call, Elizabeth Alexander.